Hello! My name is Pei and today I'm gonna show you a few tiles that turn boss fights, or at least parts of it, into branded content. I'm usually not a big fan of ground markers in old school RuneScape because it just creates a lot of clutter on the screen and most often they're just not needed. Like, I get it, if you're trying to complete certain achievements and you're doing hit lists or even speedruns, but for the average Joe like myself, it's mostly unnecessary. But of course, like with everything in life, there are some exceptions, and in this video I'm gonna go over 8 of those outliers, which definitely helped out and made my OSRS experience much easier. The plugin which makes this possible is called Ground Markers, so head over and get it from the RuneLite plugin hub. In order to mark a tile on the ground, just shift click anywhere and choose Mark Tile. Once you've marked the tile, you can shift click again to change the label or color of the tile. In order to have the same tiles as I do, you can just right click on the minimap icon and select Import Ground Marker after copying the text which I provided in the description of this video. Alright, so if you ever fought Huey, you're most certainly aware of his tail shockwave attack, which deals a lot of damage if not skipped properly. These 5 tiles made the skip so easy and understandable that it's not even up for a debate if you should have them or not. Of course, if you can visualize the distance of 2 tiles between your character and the shockwave, you definitely don't need the tiles. In the tail phase, you're going to use these 3 tiles and X will be your home tile, meaning that's where you want to initially stand. So once the shockwave comes out, wait for it to basically touch the other tile, then click over it. Voila, it's that easy. You wanna do the same thing for the other side of the tail as well. Wait for the shockwave to touch the tile, then click over it. For the final phase, you're gonna utilize these 3 tiles and the principle is the same. Wait for the shockwave to touch the X tile before clicking over it. So the shockwave spawned, we're on the side tile. Once shockwave touches the X tile, boom, click over it. Same thing for the other side. Fighting General Grador with ranged is probably the most effective way to rack up tons of kills in one trip, and guess what makes this possible?
Tiles.
So pray melee and rigor, then enter the room. You wanna pray melee at first because you'll need to run through Bandos and soak one of his melee attacks in order to start the correct running sequence. You're going to pray range during the rest of the encounter. So basically just run around the room and attack Bandos on every outer marked tile of the room. Once you get the gist of it, it becomes pretty trivial. Mistakes will happen, so don't worry about it. If he gets too close, just pray melee. The most important part is do not forget to use your stamina potion. Once he's down, stack the minions and blood barrage to heal back up. For the next skill, position yourself on the starting tile and wait for Bandos to spawn, then immediately run towards the shoot tile and attack him. The skip first rotation tile obviously means that you need to skip attacking Bandos on that tile once he spawns. You can start attacking on that tile only after one full rotation is done. Continue kiting and damaging Bandos until he's dead. Another really useful skip happens at the Leviathan. Like almost every other ground attack in RuneScape, this one can be skipped as well if you time it correctly. Think of RuneScape as a rhythm game. The faster you learn how to count ticks and listen to sound cues, the easier it will be to time attacks and skip certain mechanics. The way I do it at Levi is I position myself on one of the 4 tiles around him and I wait for the initial attack. You wanna start running towards the other tile as soon as he's about to drop the lightning on the ground. This is probably the hardest part of the skip, but you'll get the right timing after a few tries. After that, just listen to the sound cues and run to the other side every 5 of his attacks, like so. Once you get comfortable with the timings, you can sneak an attack when your true tile marker is on the yellow marked tile. My favorite DT2 boss is definitely this guy, and why is that, you might ask? Well, in all honesty, it's because of these 3 tiles. They just made the fight into a fun little rhythm game and I absolutely love it. You can use a lot of different variations for this encounter, but this is what I'm most comfortable with. So I just stand in this tile for the duration of the whole fight, and unless there's an X flying for my head or unless Vard dashes and leaves a tentacle under me, I don't move. So the X skip is actually really easy. Wait for the X's blue tile marker to basically get next to your character, then just move to another marked tile. Here are a few examples. So just as about the blue tile marker would reach my character, I immediately click to an adjacent marked tile. Same here as well. If the X's would spawn in both of these areas, you can skip the X before it even launches. So just as the X is about to launch, move to the adjacent marked tile. It's just a feeling you're going to get after a few tries. And that's basically it. If you utilize these 3 tiles correctly, most of the time you won't even have to X skip, as you'll be able to predict their direction and just move to the correct tile and avoid it. Yama's waves can be skipped as well? No way. These are really useful once you reach phase 3 Yama, because there's a lot of shit going on, and by concentrating your movement among these tiles, there's a smaller chance you'll get hit by hazards of the arena. Fireballs can drop on you either horizontally or vertically. These numbered tiles indicate where you're going to move, depending on which direction the fireballs take when falling from the sky. So if the fireballs drop horizontally, you're going to move on these 1, 2 and 3 tiles, then straight back to the starting tile. If fireballs drop vertically, you're going to move on these 1, 2 and 3 tiles, then again straight back to the starting tile. It's really easy, just give yourself a few tries and it will click. During or after the fireballs, Yama will either send shadow waves towards you or spawn flares. If he spawns flares, just use your purging staff special on the first flare and quickly finish off the second one. If Yama sends a wave towards you, just wait until the waves intersect on the green X tile and click on the second blue mark tile, like so. This way, you're going to completely skip waves and nullify damage. And that's the whole phase 3. Yama will constantly attack you with basic attacks and drop fireballs on you. Occasionally, he's going to spawn flares or send a shadow wave towards you. It seems too much at first, but once you embrace the tiles, I promise you the phase isn't that hard at all. Okay, so this one is a bit tricky and it's not for the faint of heart, but it makes the expert TOA Baba runs really brain dead, because if utilized correctly, you'll take literally 0 damage during the whole boss fight. In order to do Red X properly, import the tiles which are linked in the description below. Take Baba's tile and make sure that your control walk is turned on in the settings, you're going to need it. So the first thing you're going to do is stand on the marked tile, pray melee and piety and wait for Baba to hit you. Once Baba is about to hit you, click on him and move 1 tile backwards, like so. As you can see, I clicked on Baba right before he was going to hit me and my hit processed just in time. It's just a feeling that you're going to get once you practice this for a bit. As soon as you move backwards, Baba will line himself up with the edge of the map, like so, while he's walking towards the edge, and when your true tile marker is on the back tile, click on the red triangle and walk 3 tiles inwards. Once your true tile is on the 3rd tile and in the middle of Baba, attack him and your character will move back to its original position, like so. Once you're back to your tile, repeat the whole process, but instead of 3 tiles, you're going to move 2 tiles inwards and attack. You're going to repeat this process until Baba phases out. And remember, do not run. All of this is done by walking, and that's the reason we have control walk turned on in the settings. This way, you just hold down control button on your keyboard and you're good. No need to manually turn run on and off. Now let's see this in action one more time from start to finish. Wait for Baba to attack you, attack him back and move 1 tile backwards. Click on the red triangle and move 3 tiles inwards, then attack Baba. Once his shockwave attack is done, click on the red triangle again and move 2 tiles inwards, then attack him. Repeat the process until the end. The shockwave sound could be your cue when to click on the red triangle as well. As soon as you hear this, you can click on the red triangle. When you're red Xing, Baba will always drop 1 boulder depending on where your character stands at the moment, so you're going to have 2 different scenarios. First one is the easy boulder. He will drop a boulder 1 tile in front of your character. Just wait it out and click on the red triangle once it drops. You have plenty of time to react. The second one I call the hard boulder, and depending on your red X rhythm, Baba will sometimes drop a boulder to your original tile. You can usually avoid this by immediately clicking on the red triangle and moving 3 tiles inwards, the same way we do when starting the red X. Afterwards, just continue the 2 tile process. Once Baba is phased out, move through the boulders and drop a potion on the tile marked as drop. Move to this tile, activate your prayers, attack Baba, and then immediately move to the back tile. Once your true tile marker is on the back tile, click on the potion and move 3 tiles inwards, then attack Baba, just like we did during the first phase. Everything else is the same now, except instead of clicking on the red triangle, you're going to use your potion as the red X thingy or whatever. Watch out for boulders and kick him until he drops down. He'll phase the 3rd time and you'll just repeat the potion red Xing until until he's finished. This tactic will save you a lot of brews and restores if done properly, and it will make the room free. Trust me, just do a few tries on a level 0 or 50 invocation and you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. In continuation of TOA, Akkha is probably the hardest boss in the raid, and what makes him hard is his constant chip damage, which is an annoyance to deal with. Luckily for us, the good people of RuneScape invented a mechanic called Butterfly, and if you follow these tiles in the correct order, Akkha will almost never be able to hit you back. If you're using RuneLite, shift right click on Akkha and choose swap shift click to walk here. What this will do is, if you're holding down shift and clicking on Akkha, you will not attack him, you will walk through him. This is helpful for Butterfly, especially if you don't want to zoom out as much. You're gonna want to do the same on Akka's shadow. By holding down shift, you don't have to worry that you're going to accidentally attack Akkha or his shadow when not needed. As you can see, we have 4 quadrants and 6 non-transparent tiles on each quadrant. These tiles are split into attacking and walking tiles. You're going to want to attack on the attacking tiles and you're just going to walk through the walking tiles. Crush some salts, spray melee and augury and enter the room. Position yourself on the walking tile and wait for Akkha to come closer. When Akkha gets near, run to the attacking tile and attack him. You want to click on Akkha as soon as your true tile marker reaches the attacking tile. Once you've attacked Akkha, immediately click on the walking tile and then move towards the other attacking tile from which, you guessed it, you're going to attack again. Now just repeat the same process and move in circles. Once shadow spawn, do the same, but instead of Akkha, just click on the shadow. Also, it usually doesn't matter if you get hit once or twice at the beginning, but sometimes when you get hit, he will swap prayers and you're gonna have to switch gear. So try to avoid getting hit right from the start. It's going to take some time to figure out, but it's worth it, and it's going to save you a lot of HP. Like I said above, I usually do a combination of butterfly and regular tanking. As soon as I notice that I don't do enough damage to the shadow, I just swap my gear to melee and finish it off. And then, whenever Akkha goes into his melee phase, I start butterfreeing again to save some brews. There's a hidden square in OSRS that decides your fate, and it's called your true tile. True tile markers show where your character actually is in old school RuneScape. OSRS runs on tiles and ticks, so while your character model is jogging around, the game still thinks you're standing on one exact square. If you've ever thought I was out of the way and still got smacked, yeah, that was your true tile betraying you. Keeping true tile markers on at all times is huge, because the game only cares about that one square, not your fancy walking animation. Bosses, projectiles and damage checks all hit your true tile, so if you don't know where it is, you're basically playing OSRS on vibes. Turn it on, trust the square, and suddenly a lot of those that shouldn't have hit me moments will make way more sense. All of these clips are pulled out of my existing videos and guides, so if you want to get more in-depth about specific encounters, make sure to leave a like and check out the videos on my channel. Until next time, peace. Bruh.